Hello, Ridge Runners. Welcome back to Ridge Runner TV. I'm Nathaniel East, and alongside me is Will Roberts. And today we're going to talk about what happened this past game against Ulaga and what happened the past 4 games this season. And so far, a big story that we can talk about is Grove's third quarter. They're currently outscoring their opponents 79-8 in the third quarters. I mean, that's just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you cannot get any better than that. Only letting the opponent score 8 points in a game. I mean, what do you think they'll have to do to keep up this momentum?
I mean, this week they have several guys that are injured, and they'll have to have key guys step up. And there will be a lot of roles to fill, but I think they can do it.
Yeah, Zane Malone, he is a corner for your Ridge Runners, is out 4 to 6 weeks with an injury that he got back in Ulaga. And Landon Davis is also out at the moment. Day-to-day injury, it's his hip. I'm not really sure exactly, but we will get back to you guys as soon as possible, give you a next week update on the injury for him. And so for right now, I'm giving you the rushing yards. Emmanuel Crawford has 10 touchdowns for 891 yards on only 78 attempts, and that's through the past 4 games. His longest touchdown was 70 yards against Pryor. And on passing yards, Carson Trimble has 666 yards for 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His longest throw and touchdown was a 58-yarder against Pryor. And so Will Roberts is now going to talk to you guys about the defensive end.
Braden Casey's leading the team in tackles with 51 total, and he also has 2 interceptions, and Zane Malone has 2 interceptions as well. Last week against Ulaga, Ben Johnston got a pick 6 and took it to the house about 20 yards. Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
It was, I mean, the crowd went wild. It was an awesome moment to see. And just always, the thing for the defensive end is that you will never have to let up. You will always have to just continue to build on that side since you got 2 injured players now. Jonathan Havelka is the next one up for Zane Malone. So he told me that he has a very good chance of stepping up and replacing him this week against Catoosa. And obviously it's a very big game. It's homecoming, one of the biggest games for the Ridge Runners this year, as it always is. And it's going to be very exciting. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we beat them, I believe it was like 61-7 last year. So it was a blowout. It was for Catoosa's homecoming. And so what else do you have for us, Will?
So special teams has also been big for the Ridge Runners. On kickoffs, Nick Alsop has 4 touchbacks on the year, and he's averaging about 50 yards per kickoff. And their kickoff team, they don't give up many yards. So
now remember that Nick Alsop is a senior, so next year Damian Sanchez is the next one up to replace him. But Nick has been a bomb. He has a heck of a leg. He's been 4 touchbacks, like he said, and it's just been such a good thing to see. He only missed 1 field goal attempt last year, and it's just awesome. And I hope he keeps up all the good work that he's been doing this season so far. And so that is all we have for you today, and thank you guys very much. This is Ridge Runner TV. Hello, Ridge Runner TV. I'm Nathaniel East, and today I'm alongside Emmanuel Crawford. I'm going to interview him just to ask him a few questions about his football for your Grove Ridge Runners. And starting out, number 1, heading 4-0 into this week's HOCO game against Catoosa, how do you feel about where this team stands?
I feel like we're in a pretty good position to keep being successful. We've prepared all week, and our coaches have really found ways to give us the upper hand in the game. So I'm 100% confident that we will win this Friday.
What's the best advice you gotten from one of your coaches?
To never give up, to find something. Coach Ward always says that you either find an excuse or you find a way. And so that's kind of been my motto going into this season.
So 11 touchdowns and over 500 yards these past 2 games. That's been completely amazing. It's been amazing to watch you. It's just even better to broadcast and commentate about you. I mean, how are you going to be able to keep up that momentum and the same kind of stats throughout the rest of the season?
Just sticking to the things that got me there. If you're having success with something, you don't change things. And so I'm going to keep practicing like I am and working hard and sticking to the routine that I have that has helped me be successful.
And so Coach Colwell reached out and he said that you are on a mission, and clearly you are. So, I mean, like, what kind of goals did you put on only yourself this year?
I had big goals going to this year because it's a really big recruiting year for football players. So my goals were like 2,000 rushing yards, like 30 touchdowns. And so I've been pushing myself to reach those goals every game. I've been getting a lot of help from my line and the kids that I'm playing with around me. So it's been easier to do it with people blocking and just like having kind of a family where we all kind of understand what we need to be doing on the field in certain plays.
And I saw that you did go to OSU this past weekend, I believe. And so, how do you decide on ultimately where do you want to go to play? What college?
A big part for me is the culture at the college, how people treat each other with respect, and just like I'm a big like Christian guy, so I'm gonna need to have kind of kids surrounding me who also have those beliefs, because it's very easy to fall off into the world if you don't have people around you who are holding you accountable.
Do you really know where you're gonna go yet, or are you still just thinking about it?
As of right now, I'm just kind of waiting and watching to see what opportunities come along.
And what's your favorite like college team or NFL team just as you were growing up?
My favorite college team is probably OU, even though they kind of are sucking right now. But yeah, and then probably the Cleveland Browns because they have Baker Mayfield and he went to OU.
OU
and,
favorite, yeah.
yeah.
And so, football player right now, high school football player, junior. Where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years?
I'm not sure. If I was to plan it out myself, I would say that I'd probably go to the NFL, start a nonprofit organization for kids in Africa, and probably start a church or something like that. So.
All right, and so what's your technique, during these Friday night games? What do you do to memorize the plays that you need to memorize and to just overall just get prepared for the game?
I watch a lot of film. I like to critique myself on film, and it's helped me see holes that I can't see on the field. So during the game, I'll think back, this hole was there last Friday, so I'm going to see if it's there this week, and usually it is. And also just, like, I go out after games on Sundays and run drills on my own because of, like, footwork, and obviously as a running back, you got to be able to see things very quickly. And so just working on drills like that with eye coordination as well has really helped me.
What's your favorite song like pregame?
My music is kind of just everywhere. It changes every week. I can listen to hip hop or Lauren Daigle before games. So
Yeah. So there's a
not
variety
really-
of things,
yeah,
variety of
there's a variety.
everything. All right. So what is one thing that you always do after you get a touchdown or a good performance, good run?
I always start off by thanking God in my head, and then obviously I go celebrate with my team because every touchdown is a touchdown made by the team, because everything has to work perfectly for it to happen. So.
And now leading up to 4-0, Catoosa this week, homecoming. Now after this week you have Bristol, I believe. So who do you think is the toughest team to beat this year?
I think our toughest competition this year is definitely going to be Wagner. They've always kind of been the top dogs in our district. But I think this would be the year for us to beat them, just because of how hard we've worked over the summer and the dedication that we've put into it.
And how do you feel about this year's team than last year's team? Obviously, you lost Caden Forbes, Wesley Downing. I mean, how do you feel about this team this year?
We've had a lot of kids step up. Braden Casey stepped up at linebacker. He's been playing outrageously. We've also this has been the year where our team's really just bonded. And so we might have weak points during the game, but we're always there for each other. There's no one dragging on anyone, telling them that they suck or anything. We're always picking each other up when we do make mistakes, and we have a fighting spirit and we never give up. And so that's helped us throughout the games. We've often started off a little slow, but once we come back from halftime, we've talked and figured things out. We come out ready to play.
All right, that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you.